Hi there. You, yes you. Have you ever felt particularly warm? Let's think about why that might be. Maybe you've just had a workout. Maybe you've had 2 workouts. Maybe you haven't been working out at all. So what could it be then? Well, in some way, it's probably the heat. Now, in Canada, we have the privilege of enjoying the northwestern hemisphere where heat isn't an all-year issue. But for other drier climates that are situated much closer to the equator, heat is most definitely an issue. Egyptians unfortunately have to think about this issue often. Coming from a child of 2 Cairo natives, I have the authority to say it is most unfortunate indeed. But anyway, if the Egyptians can come up with the pyramids and an entire pharaoh dynasty, they must have had the ability to figure out how to alleviate this issue. Luckily for them, Egypt's agricultural yield provided the perfect solution. Enter one of the world's most luxurious and highly sweat-absorbent materials, Egyptian cotton. What Egypt isn't known for, however, is their booming and efficient economy. Global demand for Egypt's white gold has been on the decline by 95% for more than a decade now, with cheaper alternatives being used as companies focus less on quality and more on their bottom line. So while Egypt may have all the tools to produce sweat-absorbent solutions, the country no longer has access as a competitor in the cotton selling industry, presenting a major marketplace gap for high-quality basics and underclothing. Throw in devastatingly low literacy rates, governmental inefficiencies, and a lack of willing partners to help bolster Egypt's competitive position. And well, things won't be looking too hot, at least now, that's for sure. But wait just a second. What is that I see in the distance? Could it really be? A fellow Egyptian Canadian? A Waterloo native? And he has a fashion industry subject matter expert partner who have identified this gap in the marketplace? Inspiration at last! What's that also? A sustainable business model which provides Egyptian cotton farmers with industry entrance and access to fair and decent living wages? And a percentage contribution with every purchase that goes towards putting Egyptian children into school, improving literacy rates? Seems almost too good to be true. But fortunately, thanks to our wonderful Ontarian educators to teach this perfect trio these important skills on sustainable entrepreneurship, everything is made possible. Introducing Kotn. So how did it all begin? Kotn is a Toronto-based essentials brand which was launched in 2015 when founders and friends Mackenzie Yeats, Rami Halalai, and Benjamin Sell had noticed a gap in the marketplace. Benjamin was having a particularly hard time with sweating through all his good shirts during a hot summer years ago. Even when he didn't think he was sweating so much, his white t-shirts' yellow stains never kept his secrets. Rami, quite familiar with the Middle Eastern lifestyle and the rather luxurious collection of undershirts, was quick to explain to his friend what was lacking in his closet. The issue arose when Rami did not know which stores had affordable Egyptian cotton essentials to refer to Benjamin, since all his closet came straight from the source. And so the 3 of them realized together there was an opportunity to be pursued. After beginning preliminary research on how to procure Egyptian cotton in bulk, they realized there were even greater challenges surrounding their business that they did not anticipate. The garment industry presented itself to the trio to be rather complicated, in that each operating function did not have transparency beyond their work of the product's life cycle, beginning with the farmers that collect raw cotton and ending with the retailers setting a finished shirt on a hanger. They couldn't seem to wrap their minds around where their clothing was coming from and how it was made. They began by trying to work backwards. They were certain that they were to buy fabrics wholesale by reaching clothing factories, but where did these factories acquire the materials to produce in bulk? The 3 did not know. So, just like Rami's closet, they ventured to Egypt to learn how to find these materials straight from the source. Once they got to the country to begin their search for cotton farmers, things started snowballing from bad to worse. They soon found out that the Egyptian government had decided to pull support funding for cotton farmers, and so, yield-wise, the farmers could have used a lot of help. The trio decided it would be better to trade directly with local farming families instead of buying traditionally through wholesalers for this reason, in hopes of providing greater monetary assistance for fertilizers and other tools. Upon finding nearly 20 farms to work with and support alongside a cut-and-sew factory in Alexandria, they began to notice during their visits the number of children that floated near their work sites and how frequently they were seen working and not learning. Why weren't these kids in school, they questioned. The further they dug into understanding the scope of the challenges to overcome, they learned the closest school is an hour's drive away. For families living at the fringe of or below the poverty level, driving was never an option. Who knows if it will ever be an option? Especially for young daughters of these families. Receiving an education was not so much a priority as much as earning money to contribute towards family debt. So, they decided to go beyond funding for fertilizer and cotton, adding education to their areas of emphasis for aid. Dictating these schools boasts a 2-to-1 female-to-male ratio in order to promote education among young girls. The founders understood that through their sales, they can build schools for children that haven't had access their entire lives. As for Kotn's targets, they hope to have built 4 schools by 2019, in addition to their 2 schools already built in 2017 and 2018 respectively, overall reaching 50 schools by the year 2025. So now I turn the question to you. You, yes you. How much are you willing to pay for clothing made exclusively from Egyptian cotton? Let's find out together. And welcome back to Monica Bobonica's website review vlogs 456. Thanks so much for joining us today. On today's episode, we will be visiting the website for retail store Kotn on the hunt for some high quality and ethically sourced staples. More importantly though, the price better be right. So let's just jump into it, folks. Right off the bat, I sense this is a little bit upper scale designer. Let's see what more this website has to offer. You can shop by gender, by style. Ink, wrote, extremely soft, it's not. Oh, and it's gone. Let's just get right into the clothing now. Let's select women's. I think this is a pretty clean interface. Yeah, I think I would also expect this kind of clothing to be at these kinds of price points. Seems about standard. Let's look a little closer to see if it really checks out though. Let's choose something a little more elaborate than an essential. How about this blouse? Yeah, this seems like a pretty good impulse purchase. Whoever said that retail therapy isn't a thing? Oh, nice. Let's look at the fabrics. Lightweight, 100% Egyptian cotton. So, no dry cleaning for me. That's awesome. I'll take it. So, I think I'd say that this isn't rag & bone, but this also isn't H&M, for you fashionistas who care about these kinds of things. Let's see what men's has to offer. Everything seems to be around $30 for essentials. And maybe around $70 to $100 for things that aren't t-shirts. Oh, I see cool pants though. Yeah, I think these are very fashionable. Is this material really 100% cotton? Oh, 100% cotton. Denim-like with more tactile feel. That's quite impressive, honestly. I think overall, this would be a place that I shop from if I had a disposable income, of course. Now, to start making this YouTube thing work out for me. To wrap things up, I think the organization is doing what it's saying it will do. Based on my personal and totally biased opinion, I think the value that I'd receive after buying clothes from Kotn is worth the cost that I would pay for. I guess it's also worth noting that I'm their exact target demographic. It also makes me feel especially warm and fuzzy on the inside knowing that hard-working laborers from my home country are given a greater opportunity to provide a greater livelihood for their families. And it makes Egypt feel continuously warm but newly fuzzy in an agriculturally beneficial way. That to me looks like a triple threat, guys, otherwise known as one covering their triple bottom line. 3 good feats to have accomplished. And here marks the end of this video. Thanks again everyone for sitting in on a 10-minute commercial that heck, even I didn't sign up for. See you next time!